Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Canal Algérie News, and these are our top stories. The Ministry of National Defense categorically refutes the misleading news and unfounded accusations propagated by paid websites that promote malicious agendas serving entities hostile to our country, stressing that no one can outdo Algeria in the fight against terrorism. On behalf of the President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces and Minister of National Defense, Army General Saad Chingriha presided over the official installation of General Abbas Ibrahim as Director of Central Military Security. In Morocco, protests in Casablanca and alarming human rights situation in Western Sahara highlight growing rights concerns. And in Tizi province, olive harvest turns into a story of hospitality and resilience. Welcome back. In a blatant and slanderous campaign and through yet another desperate attempt to undermine the reputation of People's National Army, the immaculate image of Algeria on the regional and international scenes, certain media outlets and websites that no longer need to be exposed are creating fictional stories and scenarios that represent the fruit of their imagination and that of their masters. These reports concern the alleged creation of mercenaries units by Algeria, supposedly operating in the Sahel region to execute secret operations. These claims are completely fabricated by media outlets that bear only the name of the profession. In this regard, the Ministry of National Defense formally denies the allegations and unfounded accusations shared by these mercenary sites, which are executing the cunning agendas outlined by hostile entities to the country, which are harboring visceral hatred toward Algeria, wishing to destabilize the country and tarnish the image of Algerian state institutions, and manipulate the public opinion, which is now perfectly aware of the deceit of these sources and their lies. Furthermore, the Ministry of National Defense reiterates that the People's National Army, the worthy hire of the National Liberation Army, performs its duties in strict compliance with the Constitution and law of the Algerian Republic. It acts in accordance with its policy and principles based on the respect of sovereignty of the state and non-interference in their internal affairs, prioritizing dialogue and negotiations. Algeria, which constantly advocates through international and regional forums for the establishment of peace and security across the world, and particularly in the Sahel region, while it continually calls for the application of international law, has never spared any efforts. Algeria continues to work in order to restore stability in the Sahel region, diplomatically promoting peaceful solution in the resolution of crises and conflicts far from violence. Algeria being an integral part of the Sahel region, where heritage and interests inevitably converge, cannot be the cause of the instability. On the contrary, our country works tirelessly to contribute to the economic and social development of local populations, promoting its values and solidarity while honoring the privileged historical and human relations that bind it to the people of the Sahel region. Moreover, Algeria will not accept any outbinding regarding its fight against terrorism, having been the first to suffer its consequences and the pioneer in eradicating it. Our country has declared a merciless war against terrorism at a time when doubt, hesitation and complicity reigned in political and media spheres, as well as in the regional and international forums. This despicable media campaign, fueled by rumors and fake news, will not achieve their real aims and will never succeed in distributing the pivotal role of our country in the region as an effective actor in the promotion of the peace and stability. The Army General Saad Chingriha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense, Chief of Staff of the PNA, chaired this Saturday the installation of the Central Director of Army Security, General Abbas Ibrahim. Rani al-Bahri with the details.
On behalf of the President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces and Minister of National Defense, the Army General Said Shengriha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense and Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, presided on Saturday over the official installation ceremony of the Central Director of the Army Security, General Abbas Ibrahim, replacing General Jribi Mahrez. The Army General further instructed all personnel to operate under his authority, to adhere strictly to his directives and implement his instructions in the interest of the service, in full compliance with the military regulations in force and the laws of the Republic, while upholding loyalty to the sacrifices of the valiant martyrs and the principles of the glorious revolution. This occasion also served as an opportunity for the Army General to address the officers of the sensitive directorate, during which he stressed the necessity of intensifying efforts in the service of the nation and demonstrating unwavering dedication in the execution of assigned missions with the utmost discipline and steadfast determination. At the end of the ceremony, the Army General supervised the signing and approval of the official handover report.
The mining railway line connecting Bashar to Tindouf and Gharj Bilat is in its final stage of delivery. The team are working night and day to finish before the deadline. Mena Burgra.
The Western Mining Railway line connecting Bashar to Tindouf and the Gharj Bilat site is still under development at a steady pace. As the final phase approaches, the teams remain fully mobilized to meet the deadline set. This strategic project is part of the national vision for the development of transport infrastructure and the diversification of the national economy. Continuous work is being conducted day and night to ensure that the project is delivered on time. This sustained pace is now possible thanks to the ongoing operational coordination between all stakeholders under rigorous technical and institutional supervision. The desire to complete this project before the end of the year is accompanied by intensive and continuous field monitoring. This organization has made it possible to achieve a lot of progress and performance indicators in line with the objectives that are set. 950 kilometers of railway track have already been completed, bringing the project to its final stage of delivery. Approximately 60 kilometers of track remain to be laid. The current pace of completion is estimated at 6 kilometers per day. 4 CRCC teams are mobilized, supported by 2 additional support teams. At this rate, the total completion of the railway track is expected within approximately 10 days. The completion of this project will be a major lever for the development of national mining resources and the strengthening of the logistics chain. It will thus contribute to sustainable economic development and the diversification of non-hydrocarbon activities.
In the Middle East, where with the harsh weather this winter, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians find themselves deprived and living in appalling sanitary conditions, while the ceasefire agreement provides the daily delivery of 600 trucks of humanitarian aid, which is far from the needed bare minimum. Only 200 are authorized each day instead, in addition to the famine that has been ravaging the Gaza Strip for several months. The cold and rain are causing further casualties. As the Gaza Strip sinks into an unprecedented humanitarian crisis, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has once again sounded the alarm, stating that the situation in Gaza remains catastrophic and that more than 80% of residential and public buildings have been destroyed or severely damaged by the Zionist occupation's bombing, despite the ceasefire that supposedly in force. Protests in Morocco continue against Makhzen regime's neglect and repression acts, while in the occupied Western Sahara, Morocco's exploitations of natural resources and ongoing human rights abuses are drawing international condemnation. Detail with Najah Diyar.
From Casablanca, the protesters are regaining momentum.
Demonstrations call for the release of prisoners of conscience in the name of dignity and social justice. Wearing red, highly symbolic, represents the rejection of exclusion, marginalization and isolation. These young people denounce what they see as repressive practices, reflecting in their view a harsh social and political reality worsened by years of economic instability affecting large segments of the population. In the recent years, several waves of arrests have targeted these citizens, particularly young people of Gen Z. Some are still facing legal proceedings, while others have already been sentenced to a heavy penalty.
Protesters highlight the arrest of more than 2,000 young women and men from the Generation Z protest movement. At the heart of their mobilization is a single demand: the immediate and unconditional release of the detained youth.
Amid the ongoing social tensions, cities from Fez to Tangier, including Rabat and Salih, have witnessed restrictions on gatherings and protest marches enforced under a heavy security presence.
Participants are calling for an end to mistreatment and denounce the suffering endured by the families of incarcerated individuals.
Protesters denounce a system they describe as structural, exploiting legal grey areas and, as they say, violating the fundamental rights and freedoms of the Moroccan citizens. Meanwhile, in the Western Sahara, the Sahrawi people face daily repression, arbitrary detention, torture and ill treatment. On the World Human Rights Day, the international voices have condemned these abuses, highlighting the ongoing human rights violations affecting both local and foreign activists. The Sahrawi human rights defenders are calling for an independent UN mechanism to monitor and report these violations, stressing that the MINURSO remains the only UN mission without a human rights mandate, creating a significant gap in the international protection.
In Tizuzu province, the olive harvest was marked by unpredictable weather. Despite this, the residents of the village of Eitini opened their doors, sharing their values and traditions with warmth and simplicity to the visitors who enjoyed the amazing rain-soaked landscape. Detail with Najahtiya.
After the rain subsidises, whetstones glisten, the forest comes alive again, and every corner reveals a subtle charm, heightened by the damp air. Under the mist, the village of Eitini appears suspended between low clouds and silent mountains.
Our village is modest but full of life. Even when it rains, people go out to talk to each other and help one another. That's our way of life.
Bienvenue dans notre village.
Welcome to the village. It was ranked the cleanest in the province. This distinction is a source of collective pride and the result of unity, commitment, and a strong sense of responsibility shared by all its residents.
La responsabilité de tous ses habitants.
In the village, each season carries its rituals, from the ancestral olive harvest to time-honored agricultural traditions revived by the rain. Visitors passing through cannot help but feel the village's unique atmosphere, where the untamed beauty of the landscape meets the villagers' warm hospitality.
Usually at this time of the year, we are in the fields harvesting olives. Weather conditions have made the task difficult, so we are waiting for clearer skies to resume work. For us, the harvest is an annual tradition that must be respected. It's beautiful. I feel really good here. The nature, the hospitality of the villagers, everything is wonderful. No one is ever left alone when facing a problem. Whatever help is needed for work or harvesting, the villagers immediately mobilize. It's an ancestral rule of life.
The people of Eitini preserve their energy and traditions despite nature's unpredictability, and once the rain subsidises, baskets return to the fields, a village that continually demonstrates that its greatest treasures are solidarity and patience.
Football now, the national coach Vladimir Petrovic has announced this Saturday afternoon the list of the 28 players who will participate in the upcoming African Cup of Nations. Wish our team all the best for the next competition. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching us. Stay tuned on Canal Algérie. Bye for now.